Welcome, beautiful souls. How are you? Welcome to March. We are marching in a new season. And this month, we are really representing and acknowledging Women's History Month series in episode 1 through 4 with some bonus things that are going to be taking place. In episode 1 is Who Came Before Me on today. And I want to personally thank you all for tuning in and following and sharing the messages that has started out in 2026. Welcome all of you newcomers. I ask you to be welcome. I ask you to buckle up your seat. I ask for everyone to take out your journals, your pens, and kick your feet up and listen in on what is about to take place with the Atara experience, where advocacy meets transformation, awareness fuels resilience, and action sparks lasting change. Now, this month, we honor Women's History Month. But today, in particular, I want to begin with something differently because today is not about statistics. It's not about trending hashtags, and it's not even about titles. Let's really humble ourselves. Today is about her, the woman who came before you, the one whose prayers built the ground you now walk on. I need you to understand something powerful. You did not become who you are by yourself. You really didn't. There was a woman who fasted when you didn't even know what fasting was. There was a woman who endured silence so you could find your voice. There was a woman who worked 2 jobs or more so you could dream bigger. Let's talk about it. Let's give some examples so we can see if you can relate to any of this. Church mothers who kept doors open, grandmothers who carried families, women who served without recognition, and women who stayed when it would have been easier to leave. Before you ever said, I am strong, she had already proven it. You are someone's answered prayer. You really are. Legacy is not glamorous. It is costly. And we want to speak to the women who stayed in hard marriages. We want to speak to the women who endured poverty. We want to speak to the women who led ministries without microphones. We want to speak to the women who survived trauma without therapy. And can we speak to the women who did not have the language for mental health? My generation survived things we did not know how to name. They were not weak, they were caring. Strength really looks different in every generation, but it is strength nonetheless. Now let's bring this to a perspective. There were women who were surrounded and who surrounded me before, during, and after trauma. And when my situation of hardship had happened in my adversities, I have to say that there were women who prayed for me before it happened, just for praying for me. There were women who were praying with me while I was going through the trauma. And there were women that I can really say that I recognize who are still praying for me after the trauma. Those women who covered me in prayer. Women who believed you. Women who reminded you that you were not damaged goods. Women who told you to hold on to your emotional intelligence. Women who helped you rebuild identity. When you are hit with adversity as a woman, we naturally will react in emotion. And usually why we're reacting is because we're shocked behind what has happened and how did I get here. And many times of many tests that have come about in my own personal journey has left me a little shocked, a little frozen, a little feisty, irritated. And after a while, you kind of somewhat get numb and just want to throw in a towel in certain situations and just say, forget it. And prayerfully, the women that were assigned to me through those seasons that I was enduring were right there, right on time. And I did not rise alone. I was lifted. Somebody prayed for me and somebody took the time out to protect me. Somebody saw purpose in me before I saw it in myself when I felt like all hope was gone. Now, I want to make sure that as we speaking about those women, those seasoned women who stayed at the altar, who stayed 10 toes down, flat foot, and prayed For you and me, I once was young, but now I'm old. We come to bridge the younger women and the midlife women together. There is something dangerous happening in our culture right now. We are competing across generations and we shouldn't be. I recognize the tricks of negativity, insecurities, just feeling like, what about me and why did it miss me? Or younger women feeling judged, older women feeling dismissed. But we were never meant to compete. You should never be competing with another woman. You should always be trying to be a better version of yourself, which solidifies your calling. We were meant to cover, not meant to compete. When older women withhold wisdom, generations struggle. Pay attention. Look, watch, observe the conversation, the whispering, the chitter-chatter. When younger women reject wisdom, generations repeat. They really do. We need each other more than what we are willing to admit. I want you to take a moment to repeat after me. I honor the woman who came before me. I release resentment towards her imperfections. I receive the strength she carried. I forgive what she did not know. I bless the ground she walked. I rise without competing. I build without forgetting. I am someone's legacy in motion. You have been empowered by grace and crowned in purpose. So let's talk about something. Let's see what the next thing we can address. We don't always say out loud, leadership does not always come with us with the title. And if you think leadership comes with a title, kind of observe those who are in leadership where they qualify to have the title. You weigh it, you observe it. Some of the greatest women leaders never even had a microphone. They had responsibility. There are women leading in classrooms, women leading in hospitals, women leading in social services, women leading in households, women leading nonprofits, women leading corporations, women leading churches, women leading community blocks. And some of them do not even call themselves leaders. They just call it doing what needs to be done. As a community health worker leader, I did not wake up one day and say, I want to build a workforce. The workforce infrastructure, that is. I just love people. I love making sure that those who did not have resources or needed advocacy or just needed a cup of sugar had it. It was nothing to actually see myself helping my fellow neighbor, my community, because I'm from there. I've been there, and I can have my more than enough to actually come about and help. And sometimes when I don't even have enough, I still give because I want to share to make sure what I have, you can have. Now, I know sometimes you can't overextend, but when you have it to give, find yourself giving if it is unctioned from your heart. Anything from your heart is a good thing, but you also got to protect the heart from things that you're expecting in return. Remove the expectation and always have the mindset about giving. I love sitting with someone who felt forgotten because I love listening. I loved helping people to navigate systems that felt confusing. I do it without a second thought. I do it to make sure no one on my watch is left behind. I love being a bridge. I didn't know that I was doing leadership because I'm just doing. That's what it's called. What I was doing is leadership. Hey, whatever you want to call it. And when whoever is attracted to it, let them boast about it. But I'm just bringing acknowledgement. If you're doing it for the least of them, you're doing it unto the Lord. And that is something that I need for everyone to understand. Leadership is not a title. It is the actions that you're taking with the responsibilities that is coming from your heart of servitude. I thought I was just serving, and it turned out to be so much more. If you are listening this far along of the podcast or watching it on YouTube, please subscribe, like, share, so you can be notified when the next episode is hitting and you can be on time to catch the next episode that it will be every Wednesday at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. I believe that what is taking place on this particular journey is legacy. Understand leadership often, if not always, begins as love. It begins as love. Loving what you do, loving how to reach someone and help them through what they're going through. It really is. Now, some of you are leading and you really, really don't know it. Let's see if any of these examples fit your qualifications. So just let you know what is happening. The woman mentoring younger is a leader. The woman advocating for patients, she's a leader. The woman organizing food drives, she's a leader. The woman holding family meetings, she's a leader. The woman creating safe spaces, she's a leader. The woman building online communities, she's a leader. The woman checking on neighbors, that is leadership. You don't need a stage to be strategic. Not at all. As a community health worker strategist and workforce leader, I see something clearly. When women lead with lived experience, systems shift. Community health workers as trusted voices, women shaping public health outcomes, women navigating social determinants of health, women advocating for policy change, women carrying emotional labor in communities, and women are the connectors, as women are the stabilizers, and women are the emotional infrastructure. And too often, they are underpaid, underrecognized, and overextended. Okay, I'll wait. Did you hear me? Women in leadership carry invisible weights: emotional labor, spiritual covering, family caregiving, professional expectations, community crisis response, and yet they still show up. That is legacy. I did not plan this life. I did not strategize my pain. I did not map out becoming a CHW strategist. I just kept showing up as a community health worker, as a human being who loves serving the people. Sometimes calling is not chosen. It unfolds. Sometimes leadership finds you because you refuse to quit. The women before me did not call themselves strategists. They called themselves faithful, but their faith built frameworks. Their endurance built families. Their resilience built churches. Their prayers built stability. And now we get to call it leadership. To the women under 30 that are listening or watching, you may not see your leadership yet. Your advocacy online matters. Your boundary setting matters. Your mental health conversations matter. Your creative expressions matters. Your entrepreneurship matters. You are building culture whether you realize it or not. Women in boardrooms, women in classrooms, women in scrubs, women in church pews, women in kitchens, women in courtrooms, women in shelters, women in nonprofit offices, women in uniform, women in grief, women rebuilding after divorce, women raising children alone, women remarrying whole. Leadership is not limited to position. It is measured by impact. This is why this Women's Empowerment Brunch matters. We are not just celebrating women. We are celebrating builders. This room will hold generational architects. I speak strength over the women who are tired but faithful. I speak clarity over the women navigating systems. I speak rest over the women holding families together. I speak strategy over the women in workforce, leadership alone. I speak courage over the daughters finding their voice. You are not accidental leaders. You are intentional assignments. I still sometimes say, I didn't plan this. And honest to God truth, I didn't plan it. It wasn't even what I asked for. But when I got into the different leadership roles in my life, my vision did see things a little bit further that looked impossible. But one thing about me in seeing the vision, I had peace to never be scared. I was never scared to do what I needed to do to make sure that my family was good and my community was good. I didn't plan this. But when I look back, I see that every act of service was my training very well. Every time I showed up, even when I was healing, I was being shaped. That is what legacy does. It shapes you quietly. Anybody else see themselves getting shaped? You thought you were just surviving, but you were building capacity. You thought you were just helping, but you were building influence. You thought you were just loving people, but you were definitely building infrastructure. And she who came before you did the exact same thing. This month is not just conversation, boy. It is a gathering. Ladies, it's a gathering. I am so excited to announce on March 28th at 11 a.m. at Greater Kingdom Mission Church. The address is 2424 Annie Malone Drive, St. Louis, Missouri, 63113. This will be our first annual Women's Empowerment Brunch, hosted by yours truly, Atara Estes. This brunch is for church mothers, for the midlife women rebuilding, for the daughters becoming, for the women who endured silently. We are circling strength, faith, legacy. I encourage live attendance, okay? And if you are not in the St. Louis area, you can still attend live stream participation. And that would be opened on our Facebook and on our YouTube. And on the YouTube, it is the A.T.A.R.A experience. And I do know Greater Kingdom Mission Church will also be live streaming it. So if you are on Facebook, it is going to be under Greater Kingdom Mission Church. And I will also be live streaming it on Atara Estes page. So it's going to be on 4 platforms streaming live, unless I can multitask it and get it on multiple. But for now, that is doable for those who cannot attend in person and still want to be a part of the Women's Circle. And this is just the beginning. As we're closing, well, as we get close to the Women's History Month ending, we will be introducing our Sacred Saturdays with tattoo imprint, worship, word, and wellness. That will be done once a month on our Sacred Saturdays, which will give you introduction into worship music, a spoken word, or a sermon. And we will definitely be diving in about our wellness in different capacity. Rather, the wellness is through creative arts. If it's giving us taking our time with gardening, but whatever the wellness segment will offer, you can bring your creativity in that healing circle space. I will be sharing a lot of wellness tips on our Sacred Saturday, and worship music from yours truly will be shared as a intro to worship segments. And there will be either a spoken word of speech or it'll be a spoken word of faith. Either way, it's an encouraging word for our sacred circle at Tattoos Imprint. And we will definitely can't forget about you joining us every Wednesday for the A.T.A.R.A experience. And at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I think the sacred Saturdays will be in the evenings. We plan to allow you to get throughout your day and have a way to be encouraged to reset, reboot with us once a month at 7 p.m. But first, we honor her. It's going to come about. We can't jump. I'm letting you know what's going to be taking place. I want you to take a moment today and reach out to the woman who prayed you through. Call her, text her, tag her, thank her. She may not have had your opportunities, but I know she's proud of you. She may not have had your vocabulary, but I know she's proud of you. And she may not have your platforms, but I know she's proud of you. But what you all shared together, she had faith. And because she had faith, you have foundation. You are not self-made. You are women built. And to the woman who came before me, I rise well, and I thank you. I really do, for everything that you've done to get me where I am today. I wouldn't be where I am at without you. So once again, thank you for tuning in. If any of this resonated with you, please follow, like, share, subscribe. Bring someone on the next time or share this platform with them so they can be able to be a part of the building movement of us. This is not just for women. We are open to anyone who feels that this message resonates with them. However, for this month, though, I am really focusing in on Women's History Month and acknowledging and uplifting the voices of our great leaders, our soldiers, our warriors. Be good to yourself and to one another. Be wonderfully blessed on purpose.